Good morning, boys and girls, friends, lovers, children of all ages. We are outside the unemployment office for the state of Colorado. And we're going to start doing some introductions and interviews here in a little bit as more and more people come on scene. There's an action today in this sunny plaza demanding change and payments for those who are awaiting their unemployment. Again, we'll cover more of this here for you after we do some introductions and try to see who the spokespeople are. Meanwhile, we hope you'll enjoy this shot of the Denver Police Department. Since they watch these feeds, we might as well let them watch themselves, watching the watchers. So here we go with the security guards giving instructions again.
Please, thank you. Guys, if you can be on the sidewalk, that'd be great. I want to try. I know.
Allied Universal.
Please don't film me. Please don't film me. If you have a release, I'm able to sign. Don't film me, please.
Are you a contracted security guard?
Yes.
Working at a property where government employees and government offices are located?
Okay.
Are you outside in public right now?
No, I'm on private property right now.
Okay, well, are you outside in public in the plaza of a building where the state...
Sir, where are you getting at? Because right now you sound aggressive to me.
Right, I apologize. You came up to me. You came within 6 feet of me, and while filming, you came and you have chosen to stand in front of me, asking not to be filmed.
Sir, you cannot be filmed.
Yes, you can. You're in public.
This is private property.
No, this is government rented space.
I pay taxes. I pay taxes. And I can stand there. So if I want to enter your building, how do I enter your building?
Yeah, I see a barrier line here with these art little light thingies. But the reality is that this plaza goes to the building where government offices are located. And that makes it public space because taxpayers are paying for utilization. I also wanted to introduce myself. I got an email from somebody. My name is Brian Loma. I'm known as Cut the Plastic on YouTube. I'm a journalist, activist here in the community. So I was hoping to do some interviews today to talk to people before or after the press conference.
That'd be amazing. Sure. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you for coming.
Yes.
Yeah, we're trying to. Oh, how fun.
They've already told us you can't go back inside.
Hey, yeah. So cool. Oh my God.
Wait a second. What was that?
Oh yeah, there were people coming. I don't blame them. I don't blame them.
I'm going to get on TV somehow, and I'm going to call Colorado Department of Labor, the IT director, executive director, and deputy executive director. Running the Tucker School. Excuse it.
And you know this crap that you told last night, told last night, of saying, okay, well, we're going to go ahead and start rolling out phase 2 the week of February 22nd. That's no different than the answers that they were giving before. No different. That means people get paid sometime in March if they're lucky. If they're lucky.
None of us are.
No.
So why don't they take their money away for 5 years? See if they want to go to work.
Right.
They don't have to do things.
Yes.
I get online every day. I submit applications at least every day. I take assessments. I'm calling places.
Yeah.
I'm actively looking
Every
all
day.
the time. Everywhere I go, I'm like, are you guys hiring? Do you need help? I just talked to the manager and all those people yesterday to submit my resume. Trying. How are they trying? You make $175,000 a year. Your only job is to take care of the unemployed people. You're failing. You should hire.
Right. Sorry, I'm listening.
Here's the thing. Any other company. Oh my God. Any other company would have integrated up. So we should have put that system into place and moved over one group of people at a time.
Yep.
And dealt with the problem and moved the next.
Yep.
Instead, you're going to shut everything down. You're
Right.
Right.
Bingo.
That's the highest amount of unemployed people in Colorado and God knows how long.
I think we have legitimate rights.
It's
Oh, man.
insane.
Oh man.
It's insane.
6 weeks. December 26th.
Yep.
By the grace of God, I have a good build on that.
Right.
Here's my
Grace of
problem.
God.
Mine just shut off. I was on regular unemployment.
What?
I was on regular unemployment and mine just recently shut off. Okay, so I'm not as in hurt as most
You're
people,
fine.
but
Yeah, I know. That's
you're in a
people
bankruptcy
in
agreement. Even once they would take that house, there's nothing. Yes. And if they take our house, where am I gonna go?
Hey,
My
come
husband's
here.
been paying on the house for 16 years,
Yeah.
and because they have
That's why I'm here.
If you guys are
So what's going on?
I guess we're getting off the sidewalk.
Alright.
Yeah. Ryan.
you can move your
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm talking to you. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
if you can move your tripod, do not film me, please. If you can be on the sidewalk, that'd be great, please. Quit trying to film me. Hey, I'm serious. If you try to film me, I'm serious.
Why are you making a big deal out of this, man? Why are you doing this?
Because I didn't sign a release with
You
you.
see that sign right there?
You know what?
It says
I just
State of
asked you.
Colorado.
Come on.
Do you have some documentation that this is private property with no trespassing? There's no signs.
Do not film me.
There are no signs out here.
I didn't sign a release with any
Why are you doing this? There are no signs.
private property.
There have been plenty of protests here.
All I asked you nicely. And right now you are filming me without my release.
Guess what?
I didn't sign a release with you. So if you
This isn't about you, buddy.
of course not.
It's about unemployment. You're on it. You're employed. The sign says State of Colorado right there, folks. 633 17th Street. State of Colorado and employment. We're here, folks. It's rented, it's paid for. This plaza is taxpayer funded. There's a protest here. On Colorado state property, leased by the taxpayers.
Down. All Clark. Yeah, we're not going to get on there. Whole idea is to work on the capital, right? You know.
I don't know if it's not for us.
Good afternoon, boys and girls, friends, lovers, children of all ages. This is stream 1.
That camera's dedicated and exclusive. See, you guys are like really super cool because like you have a job. Hey, I'm going through. Just because I have a job, that doesn't mean I'm not for it. If I have a gym, I'm supposed to bring later. I know. I don't. Dude, I need to take that vacation. So I'm just going through. I'm just going Stop. This is my day.
On public property.
You're in a public place, you're on camera. There's a camera on that thing right there. And then maybe for themselves, they're not big effort to give other people. I lost my papers. All of the executive directors, executive deputy director, and the IT director. I want to know I'm perfect.
Sherry. She's not listening to me.
It happens a lot. She was talking on the news.
Oh, gotcha.
Just got done with that
Gotcha.
long interview.
I'm trying to avoid that at all costs if I can.
Well, then you better get away from this one, because this one's filming this guy who says that we don't have permission to film him.
Yeah, he seems to be under the false illusion that there's some
He's
thought
the
of
only one that
privacy
pays
in public.
taxes here, apparently.
Well, I just noticed that it says right at the top of the building that it's a government
CBLE?
building.
Yeah, which means we actually can be there.
Yeah,
That's just paying his wage.
and I know that these police officers probably have somebody watching this stream right now.
Not to mention all the cameras that are
I know, right?
around here.
So he could go in, but he's not.
I'm like, I'm going inside.
So let's see if we can get some interviews. What about you, sir? Going to speak what's going on in your room with the situation?
I can. I mean, I can on camera. My kids are already getting teased because I'm out of work, which is
back. Unfortunately, when I have to lay down on a couple teenage girls, and I got an ex-wife, I'm definitely all right, let's go. But I'll tell you, well, these are live. So I just haven't been paid. Haven't been paid. I think my last check was December 1st. Sorry to hear that. Thank you.
I think somebody can go, oh, we want to play with our rate. Get a job. But just living
I can't. I'll be honest. I have attempted to apply. It's so complicated. My friend here, he's like Saturday night, or Friday night, he's like, I gotta go back and get on the phone call to try to get my ID certified so I can do this stuff. I don't know where he's at since then, but what I do know is that when I tried to file for employment, because I take a mix of W-2 and 1099 jobs, to have everything laid out, half the employers don't have this stuff registered until the next year, so you can't get in. And 24 hours, right? You gotta have it all together right the first time. If you get stressed, if you get overwhelmed by the system, try to put it down and come back to it later, your application's not there. Every step that you make disappears. And so, for a lot of people, it's too labor intensive.
well, not only that, but people who've never had unemployment. I worked in New Mexico. I worked at the food stand there, tax assistant office for a little while. I helped a lot of people. And I understand that this system only gives you 55% of what you make for the pay. But what if you become a job for
Yeah.
now you're cut back even more. I've already cut my household down to everything I can. I was telling you that my dad was disabled. I don't know if you heard that, but I usually go to his house twice a week because I couldn't go that long. I don't have gas to go. I had to wait till my this is my longest big trip. I'll go to my dad's from here and go home and I'll go again. That's not fair. You know what I mean? That's not fair to people like you're just great. Gorilla is 175,000 a year. It's public notice. You can look it up.
Yes.
That is actually 4.5 times what the single person average is. Yep. Oh, I do like this too. And I was kidding. This guy will work for 5 minutes about being paid.
No, he won't. He's mad because we got him all over the camera.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, they wouldn't go without pay.
No, they wouldn't. And that's the thing, right? Because no matter what you look at, what the banks are not going to bail these people out, right? Humans have bailed out, the governments have bailed out the financial institutions over and over
other
again.
countries. That's my pick. Right now, we should be helping our country. It's known that you put on your own house before you help the country.
That's right.
So right now, the last stimulus thing that went out, the other countries got more money than our own country was given to help their unemployed and the people that need the help.
So what do you think about the Biden plan, 1.9 trillion?
I like that he's spending it and like it's all the way through the year. So we don't run into this every couple of weeks. Oh, we gotta start looking.
Student loans have also been adjusted.
Yeah. But I understand that. I understand that treating people for COVID needs to be done worldwide. But it's about finance. We help our own country. We're letting people lay in the street and starve while we're handing out money to other people.
And I agree with you. Because, I cover a lot of issues. One of the issues I cover is the housing crisis. Currently in the Denver metropolitan area, we have 31,000 known counted over a year, 1 month period. Started in 2019 to July 2020. Okay? How far are you out, do you think, before you were risking that?
Honestly, with me, and I might be an exception, but the house we have, my husband has, it's in his name. He claimed it bankruptcy several years ago. The stipulation of the bankruptcy says this one house payment, one, and they kicked it. No arguing, no ifs, ands, or buts, it's over.
Wow.
One house payment.
So your one house came in away.
Yes. And he's had the house for 16 years. Imagine the fear. I lay awake at night. Well, look at my fingernails. That's what I do. How are they going to pay me? Are they going to give me the money? Because we need it to make ends meet. When I was working, we were just comfortable enough to go out and eat once in a while. Nothing big. We don't have fancy cars. We don't have big extravagant things in our house.
Understood.
You know what I mean? I live in Commerce City. Come on.
Okay.
In old Commerce City, in an old house.
And those houses are falling apart.
Yeah.
My friends at the IDW.
Oh, my dad was there 7 years. I have a tattoo of it.
So they went to go help out a house and found out they couldn't just tore the thing down instead. Right?
Oh, yeah, we replaced everything. The refrigerator has gone out every single year in November. I don't know why. We buy one, put it in. It has a 1-year warranty. A week after the warranty expires, the fridge goes out. I mean, come on. We don't even have a clothes dryer at my house. We have a washing machine, and then we hang all our clothes because we can't afford to buy a dryer and then pay the extra bill. You know what I mean? And then my aunt died last week in Las Vegas, Nevada. My mom and her have lived together for 13 years since my brother passed away. For 13 years, they've been together all the time. My mom called me hysterical.
And you can't even go.
I went. It cost me, I got a cheap flight. It cost me $28. I flew out there. I spent 4 days with her and flew back. She's going to have to come live with me. She's 74 years old. She can't work anymore. She's on Social Security, and what she makes, $800 a month. She can't even get a studio apartment for $800. Let alone pay bills. So what am I going to do if I lose my house and now my mom's homeless and I'm homeless? You know what I mean?
I do actually. I've been trying to work with a family for 3 weeks that are living in a hotel. And just getting them services is a catastrophic difficulty. So I do understand and I do appreciate it. And I thank you for being out here. I think we're losing some time.
Well, I thank you for covering this.
Absolutely. Thank you. Appreciate it. Good. Hey, would you like to tell us about your experience with the unemployment?
Well, where should I begin? I was collecting unemployment last year. I still had money on my balance, $700 some odd dollars. And then on the 28th of November, they cut everything. And so then in December, I went and scheduled an appointment for the 18th of January. I go to the building up there by Capitol Hill. I go inside and I call them downstairs and they're like, oh, hey, even though you have a balance of $700, you're exhausted and inactive because we say so. But don't worry, at the end of January, you'll be getting paid. And I'm like, oh, okay, is there anything I need to do? And they're like, no, it's just a waiting game, sir. We're updating our computers. You know, I'm like, okay, so I wait till the end of January. So end of January, nothing happens. The beginning of February, the new MyUI Plus starts. I go on there. It shows I still have a balance of $700 some odd dollars. And it says that I'm exhausted and inactive. I don't understand how I can be exhausted of all my balance when I still have a balance. And then on the 5th, I find out that they placed an integrity hold on my account. I used the same ID, information, everything, but now they're saying there's an integrity hold. During my phone interview, they said there was not an integrity hold because I filed from the same laptop in my home with the Colorado ISP address every time. So there were no issues. But on the 5th of this month, February, I find out there's an integrity hold. So then I have to go to a thing called ID Me. The only forms of ID they will accept from me is my passport, my voter registration, my social security card. So I have to go to the Denver's elections office with my passport to get proof of my voter registration. Then I take pictures of all that, I send it to them, and they say that's not good enough. I have to contact a trusted referee. So then I'm on hold for an hour and 40 minutes waiting on my computer to do a video call. The video call happens, a dude shows up, he says his name's Ola, and that he's the trusted referee. I tell him my name, birthday, social security number, my address, my normal contact information. So then he asks me to show my passport. I hold my passport up, he doesn't even look at it. He's like, all right, show your voter registration. I grab that sheet of paper, I barely hold it up, he's not looking at it. It's like, okay, show your social security card. So I grabbed my social security card, I showed up. He's like, now show the backside of your social security card. I show the backside, and he's like, all right, you're verified for Colorado Department of Labor and Unemployment Benefits. We'll send them the email. Call tomorrow to make sure you get your check. So then I'm like, okay. A few minutes later, I get the email saying, hey, you've been verified. We sent the information to CDLE, Colorado Department of Labor and Employment. No worries whatsoever. You're going to get paid. Next day later, Saturday, 2 days ago, I call. I'm on hold for an hour and 40 minutes. Hour 40 minutes in, I talk to some lady who can barely speak English, who's only being hired to handle the integrity program. I tell her that I want integrity verification. She starts talking an attitude with me, like, oh my God, really? Everyone's calling for this today. And I'm like, yo, lady, that's the only reason you got the job. It's Saturday to do integrity holes. So then I do the integrity stuff with her, and she's like, no, you have to contact ID. I was like, I already did that yesterday. I'm verified. Can you verify whether or not you got the information? And she's like, oh, I don't know if I can do that for you, sir. I've been doing that all day long for everyone else. And I'm like, well, isn't that your job? And she's like, oh, I guess you're going to make me do my job. And I was like, I guess so. So then I give her all my information. She goes through it, and she's like, oh, it says you're exhausted. And I'm like, what about my balance of $700? And she's like, oh, well, you have a balance. It used to be in phase one. And I'm like, yeah, that's what the people in my phone meeting at the Colorado Department of Labor and Employment said. And that's what the IDB people said. All right. So I go through all that stuff, and then they're telling in phase two to make things easier. So even though I have a balance of $700 on my stuff, they claimed I exhausted all my balance, which means it would have had to be at zero.
Fantastic.
I know. And then they said for their ease, it would be easier on them to put me in phase two.
Fantastic. So it hasn't been easier.
No. It's been a lot harder for me. It's just easier for them because they don't have to do work now. And I also think that they're holding on to the money so that way they can collect the interest. Because when the state government gets federal money, they put it into a state account and it collects interest. So the longer they hold that money, the more interest they get for their own pocket. So I think that's why this is happening to us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Where's our money?
Go. Yes. I love it. Going down to the sun, huh?
Where's our money? 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 And the living wage. Open phase two! Open phase two! Open phase two! We're here to be heard.
E-E-L-E. I feel it.
There he is. What does he got to say? He is silent.
So, Travis, would you like to tell us your story?
Well, I don't have work at the moment, and because I have a history of kidney issues, there's not much I can work right now. I'm about to lose my house, behind on all my bills, and I just no answers from them. I ran out of regular unemployment in December, and just have been waiting for months to get any sort of answers on when I'm going to be able to get on PEUC. I've worked the last 13 years, my hardest for the city of Denver, and this is just ridiculous. I pay into the system and they're not paying it back. They had 20 to 30 years to update their system's code from the 80s, and they just stopped. They said, well, the pandemic happened in March and we were going to update the system, but we have to stop now. Unemployment goes up during a pandemic. Why the hell would they stop then?
Well, and I find it interesting. You say that this is a system from the 80s. I guess we're moving to the sun. So let's keep walking while we talk.
Yeah.
So this system from the 80s survived the Y2K bug, but couldn't survive the pandemic.
Apparently.
All right.
Then they also said in a January press conference that they've known that the new upgrade has worked for other people for months. So why did they upgrade their system at the same time, still waiting to the last minute when it's too late? They could have done this 6 months ago.
All right. It looks like they're marching over to the mall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a contractor. I'd rather not say because the city of Denver, just because we're never allowed to talk about anything. So now April, however, I have to work here. I am on the verge of leaving my house. So right now I'm working to find a place for my cat. Something like when you lose your internet, your phone's ready for a hard to look for a job. And two cats.
Now you got this is your house. You're paying a mortgage.
Yeah.
How far behind are you?
Instead of
Can we ask? I mean,
about 2 months.
okay. So it's definitely like you've been fighting, you've been doing your best throughout the system, but it's going on too long, and the impact is starting to catch up. Okay. So
Suddenly in March, we're just going to get $10,000 thrown into our account. I mean, what's the point in having the richest tent on the block when I just lost my house? And in Denver, I'll never be able to get housing again because of the prices. I've lived here my whole life. Their inability.
what city council district are you in? Do you know?
I do not. I live West Denver.
Okay, listen, I want to follow up on this as sloppy as my cameras are right now. I want to stay on this story because I think that we have a capacity to find some emergency solutions.
Yeah.
Stopgap, right?
Right.
And that's important That's important. Stop the bleeding. And there are specifically programs put into place that are designed so that if somebody is housed, it prevents them from becoming unhoused.
Right, okay.
Right? Like that's an issue. It's harder once you're unhoused. So they figured that out, and they figured out that there should be programming, and there is, to keep people in the houses that they're in, so that you're not on the street.
Right.
And I've been involved in some groups, so I think that we can connect you. There's definitely a mortgage program that just came out,
Okay.
and they're pre-applying people for that. It's on the website. I just got the email a couple days ago.
Okay. Thank you. Definitely.
So I'm gonna try to drop this down a little bit here. Since we're walking, we're gonna try to quickly convert the holder. Hey, I need a. All right, sorry folks, we're gonna get this fixed. Hey, can I ask a quick favor? Can you hold that for a second? I'm going to drop this. Up there for a second. Thank you. Does anybody else that'd like to tell their story while you're out here? Yes, please.
Okay. So I tweeted this like last week. I've been furloughed twice. In March, I was furloughed the first time.
Okay, can I ask your name?
Sure, Mariantha.
Mariantha, okay, it's nice to meet you. I'm Brian.
Nice to meet you, Brian.
Okay, so you've been furloughed from your job twice over how long a period again?
It was about 10 months that I was furloughed twice, and I was ultimately laid off in September.
Okay.
And then once I was laid off in September, I got glitched out of the system, and I wasn't able to claim my unemployment. They were working on switching the website over. So I had to make an appointment to speak to someone. The earliest they had someone was December 21st. And then I waited until December 21st to talk to someone. On the phone, this guy told me that that it's my responsibility to claim my unemployment, and I wasn't able to get on the website. It was my fault, and that they weren't going to back me. He said that I could try and contest it, but they're just not going to back me. Fast forward January, they moved to the new website. Again, there's glitches, you can't get in. Or if you do get in, it tells you to call a number. The number tells you to call another number, and you're just stuck in this like endless loop. So I made another appointment, what seemed to be in person. So I was like, okay, finally I'm gonna get to talk to someone in person. That was last Thursday or Friday. And then I finally get to this place. While I'm there, there was a Mexican man in front of me who's having trouble speaking with the security guard. And the Mexican man's explaining that he hasn't been able to file at all. The security guard is saying you need to go online and make an appointment, and then you can come here. So I told the security guard, like, hey, let him take my spot, and then that way he gets to talk to someone. I can make an appointment later. Security guard says, I'm going to speak with my colleague inside, goes inside, comes back out, says, fine, since you were willing to give up your appointment, we'll let both of you speak to someone right now. I was like, okay, perfect. We're both going to get to talk to a human being. You go inside, and instead of having anyone to speak to, you're set up to a booth with a telephone. That's it. So we drove all this way. We waited so long, and we get there, and it's just a telephone with pause. Once you dial in, you still have to wait 10 minutes.
There's the main number.
And then when I spoke to someone, I was denied again, being told that it was my responsibility to be able to log in to a website that's not even working.
So you have the financial advantage of having a computer, having internet access to internet services currently.
Yeah.
This other gentleman, a minority, did you have a conversation?
Yeah, so sorry. My mom's Colombian. So
Okay.
That's my first language. So this is the way that I interjected. I was like, I can interpret for him. So I was doing all the interpreting for him. And I told them, like, if you guys don't have anyone who speaks Spanish, I'll be the interpreter for him. So he was explaining to me that his daughter, an English speaker, wasn't able to file unemployment for him online. They were having issues. And so he needed to speak to someone in person. So that's when I was like, okay, this guy obviously needs, help, so he should be able to go speak with someone. The security guard said there was a Spanish speaker in the building ready to talk to him. And what he meant by Spanish speakers, he meant a telephone. He meant that we would each have a telephone.
So your government is basically absent.
Yeah, 100%.
And was this at the location that we were just at?
No, this was at a different location. I don't know the address on the top of my head. It was downtown somewhere, so you still had to like pay for the parking meter.
Uh-huh.
So I had a timer on my phone going as I'm like on hold, waiting to speak to someone.
So I volunteered at a food bank here in Denver. And on Saturday, somebody came to volunteer, and then they ended up on the phone with the unemployment office for 2.5 hours while they were there at our facility. And they really didn't end up being able to volunteer. Would you say that your calls are normally long? Like, what's the average call that you're used to being on?
I mean, I think I'm a little bit more impatient than most. I give up after like 45 minutes to an hour, and if I still haven't gotten to anyone, I hang up. I'm just like, I'll try again the next day. I've tried, prima dos for español. Like, I've tried the Spanish line too. That doesn't work either. And I just figured that if I spoke to someone, my solution was being someone in real life. That was my solution.
And that makes sense to me, because I think that at a minimum, when we deal with federal regulations about making sure that people with handicaps, with disabilities, have the ability to access and apply to the system equally, that a navigator in a human context would be the federally mandated compliance. And so the fact that you, an able-bodied person, bilingual, right? So you're utilizing the telephonic, the internet infrastructures, and finding that they're not availing you of any success on those systems. I'm curious. I used to work for a Fortune 200 company, and they took pride in the fact that you didn't sit on the phone. And this was, I haven't worked for that company for more than 5 years now. So we know this is existing modern technology. Did they ever give you a chance to just get a phone call back?
Yeah, that was my December 21st call. It was 2 months. So I booked it in September.
Wait, you're on the phone and they're like, it's going to be a hold. We'll call you as soon as you're first in the queue.
No,
And it was 2.5 months later?
I was on the phone and it led me to the website. They're like, all the representatives are busy or whatever. You just can't get ahead. So you go to the website and the website has a chat bot. And the chat bot tells you, we'll call you. This is the soonest appointment we have is like 3 months ahead. Because this was September when I called them because the glitch was happening on my side.
September.
Yeah.
So you've been waiting for assistance to stay financially viable from the money that has been made federally available since September.
After 2 to 3 weeks, I started refreshing my browser, clearing cache, just doing all these like technical stuff to like maybe get the system working again. Because I think what happened was once I got let go and they saw that I got my severance, they like canceled out my claim because I received mine. So there was a month there where I didn't get money. Eventually, I did get some once I was able to get back into the system. And luckily, I'm very fortunate. I have a partner who's been helping me. So I haven't been completely out of luck, but I have not been able to receive all the money that was due to me when I was unemployed. And I'm still unemployed. Yeah.
Absolutely. And what's your field of expertise?
Entertainment. So I was working for cinemas essentially.
Okay. Yeah, a thing that is going to take a while until we're all ejected.
Oh yeah, I've come to terms with the fact that maybe I start freelancing, figure something else. Right now I'm tutoring Spanish, just trying to get something to float by.
In the cinematic world, you like box office, advertising, front house? Like, are you in production?
It's event cinema. Yeah.
I actually I connect people, right? I'm a connector amongst things.
Malcolm Gladwell connector kind of person.
I'm not sure what that means, but we're Kevin Bacon's 7 degrees from somebody. We're all degrees of knowledge. So I have somebody who's doing drive-in theater. They got heat warmers, food trucks, all this kinds of stuff. Maybe I connect you to see if there's some opportunities. Maybe consulting. I don't know. But
No, that's awesome. I like the connectors. Yes, Malcolm Gladwell has a book called Outliers, and he talks about connectors. I think that's what.
yeah, that sounds like it.
Thank you. That's awesome.
Yeah, let's keep that one off camera for a second though, because it's got my direct number on it. We don't want that publicly available. My phone would never stop ringing. So it's what do you think about the action today? The press has been here, but like, were you present when private security guards told you that you couldn't be there? Did you experience any of that today? Okay. Yeah. Some of the press and media, different people were being told they couldn't be around somewhere. So we're just it's a big government plaza building. I'm trying to find out what people think about that experience as well. Because there's the unemployment offices in the building, there's private security guards at the doorway, and then there was like security that's telling people they can't be there physically present. They have to go to the sidewalk because the building where the government offices are located, the outdoor plaza is not available to them. And it seems counterproductive to me. So I'm just curious.
I thought we were going to go to the other building where I went for like the telephone.
Well, we don't know where the final journey will take us, do we?
Can I ask for this?
So my name is Brian. I'm Cut the Plastic. I'm a YouTube live streamer, and I also am on a couple other platforms: Twitter, Instagram, TrueTube, dot live. It's another broadcast free speech venue. I'm known for being prolific out here in the streets for actions and protests, from the March Against Monsanto to obviously the summer of George Floyd last year. And we broadcast with Occupy Denver and a bunch of other places. So
Remember Occupy Denver because the zombie call was also going on at the same time down here?
yes,
It was the zombies and Occupy people. I thought it was really funny. I had to check with my friend for the meter, but it was funny.
by all means, nice to meet you. Thank you. As you folks can see, there's a discreet police escort at this point. Gotta watch the noise of the music from the.
You know what? There's a couple other ones that work out.
That's the one.
I know it is.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
They blocked me from 6 to come. All I did was fun. So they blocked me. The very next day, guess what they did? What are you doing? Because dad I run it. I'm like, how do you block me?
Wait a second. Can I'm hearing you said somebody blocked you.
Yeah.
Was that a government agency?
No, that's a Facebook page. Not that that's worth anything, but
Not the page of an agency or anything like that.
no, nothing. Like,
Would you care to share your story?
oh, sure.
Tell us your name.
Monica Walsh.
Okay, Monica, what's going on?
Protesting because I have not gotten my unemployment in over a month, and then they cut my food stamps down from 400 to 85, so I can't even feed myself or my child.
$400 a month in food assistance to $85.
To $85 to feed 2 people.
How do you spend $85 on food?
It's mostly ramen right now, man. I'm lucky my kid likes it. Gotta throw some cheap veggies in there to keep it healthy, but that's all you can afford. Ramen and canned stuff, and stuff I really don't like feeding my child as a parent.
Why? Because it doesn't have nutritional value?
Yeah, absolutely no nutritional value, but it's cheap, so I guess that's what we get to do.
Okay. And can I ask what you did before this?
Absolutely, I was a chef at Lilo Catering.
So you're a chef. Definitely know how to cook then.
Exactly, I just can't do anything about it with that stuff. Yeah, we were the first ones to go out when this started, and looking like one of the last people to go back in. And as a single mom, it's just hard trying to provide for your child on what they're giving you right now.
Have you been able to avail of any of the federal USDA food boxes?
I have not.
Okay. I'd love to connect you with some information on that. What part of the community metro area are you in?
Cherry Creek, Glendale area.
Yeah, okay.
So
We can get you hooked up
that'd be awesome.
for sure.
Really hard finding, resources and stuff right now. Even like trying to find online, rent help.
Good job. Good job.
Yeah. Food help, and it's all just so confusing. There's so much of it. So go through it and actually find stuff. It's just hard. And then when you go to a food bank, if you're there just a second too late, they don't let you in, or there's nothing left. It's just really hard now.
There's some resources that I definitely can connect you to. Metro Care Ring at Downing and 18th. You can go at least once a month. We've got the inner city parish. There's probably something closer to you as well, as far as like a neighborhood distribution location. We just got to figure out where it's at. But there are definitely some ways that, for example, where I volunteer at, there's always fresh fruits and vegetables coming through. Every week there's something to work with. And maybe it's $20 to $50 worth of food. But when you go from 85 or from 400 to 85,
yeah,
those differences make a difference.
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm telling the stories about the circumstances and stuff. I think it's important because I'm a housing rights activist, amongst other things. So in your sitting, are you? Can I ask? Are you renting? Are you a mortgage payer?
Yeah, I know. 1 bedroom for 1,100 a month that I can barely afford.
Okay, so that's the reality, and that's the kinds of things that people get to learn. Is that it's like, yeah, I'm paying $1,000 for 1 bedroom for me and my child, right? So that's shared space, and it paints a picture, right? Cooks, catering, the economy's closed. We're 25 to 50% capacity for eating. Most everything's to go. The places that had workers kept them that were able to stay open. Is your the cater company you're with? Are they still in operation?
They are, but barely. They're working with the owner and her office lady.
That's it.
Any big orders, if they are getting any orders, they're getting like 2 or 3.
Right. So basically, the owner of the company is barely able to keep themselves afloat.
Yeah, she had to sell one of the vans because I drove by and I saw that we were missing a van, so I'm pretty sure she had to sell one of the vans just to keep herself afloat. And that's going from a business owner that made, in the millions last year, just down to nothing. And it's so sad because she is one of the hardest working women I have ever met. This woman deserves everything she has, and for it to all get ripped away from her because of this is the saddest damn thing I've ever seen.
Oh,
yeah. That's a further testament to the circumstances for sure.
So sad. She worked so hard her whole life. She had a passion for cooking. She had this great business. Overnight, she had nothing. She had to start just devastating to see that happen.
There's a commercial for that.
Yeah, JG Wentworth.
JG Wentworth.
Yeah.
It's our money and we need it now.
It's my money and I need it now. Yeah, I was up at like 3:30. Like, that would be
That's a chance right there.
Hey, let's all get behind each other. That's fine.
Yeah. Our money is
We need it now.
Do we have any offers?
Right? Totally. That's exactly what she said. That's exactly what she said. All right.
Well, I figured it's something that everybody knows. It's a jingle that everybody knows.
It's catchy.
Bingo.
It works.
Where have we seen that before?
Yeah. It's our money and we need it now. Having fun?
Yeah, dude. It's a great way to spend a Monday.
It is, isn't it? I gotta thank Travis wherever he's at. There it is.
We need our money
Thanks, bud.
now.
He sent me, when your community's like, hey, I need you at this. I paid attention. Right? Yeah. And it's funny because it was on the news this morning. So I thought it was going to be twice as big. Because it was on the main news.
It was a cold day.
Oh, I got to go find out who's with us. Driving away. Aww. Ha ha. Now, the sad reality is, folks, that these people who are fighting for their paychecks, who are demanding, where's my unemployment? Some of them are facing this. Travis earlier today said, what's going to happen when I'm in a tent? Oh my God, these winds are amazing, especially when the cops are shooting tear gas at you and the cloud comes in and just goes straight up in front of your face.
Up the nose.
Like if you stand behind it and the wind's going that way, it just goes right up and you miss it. It was great. I have some video of that.
That's awesome. Sure like to use that.
Yeah, it was a little spicy in 2020, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I had more cayenne than I ever thought I would want in a lifetime.
I've never been sexually assaulted by a police officer before, but they shot at my dick.
Wait, what?
They shot never falls around my crotch. Like, the grouping was phenomenal. Yeah, I was about that.
Do you have video of that?
No, I went live. I got started. That was when I was getting my camera out. They were bam, 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 bam. It was.
Do you know when and where?
Yeah.
We got to talk about that later too.
I have pictures of my
Oh, I've got an attorney to talk to.
We got this fixed. I'm sure they have one.
CDLE, we want answers. What kind of answers do you want?
We want money when we're getting money. Know why you're implementing a system during a pandemic. Yep. You want to know why your failed people that you've been training have not been doing their job correctly. Why they hang up on us all the time. It's awful. Yep.
How long have you been waiting on your federally secured benefits there?
I had a claim originally on the original system. And I waited 4 months to get paid one time. Bottom there?
So you were in the first filing. How long ago was that? 2020. And did you get a lump sum?
I got a lump sum, but I was missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 weeks of back pay.
What kind of impact has this had on you?
I've already lost one apartment. I don't want to lose another one.
So you were evicted?
Yes.
During the pandemic where there's no eviction.
The amount of money that I owed to this place was just gathering up. It was just gathering up. And they were pushing. That's going to be a whole different situation with me right now. But it was something that I could not. I have pre-existing health conditions, and my health is just not taking it. They're constant, where's the money? Where's the money? They're constant letters, they're constant emails, calling. I had to shut off my phone because of it. It just got too much.
But they don't realize about that rent,
Yeah.
Miranda, or whatever it is. If you're on a month-to-month or your lease is lapsed, they don't have to go by that.
No, and I was on month to month.
So the landlord basically changes the game and the contract rules so that they can play you.
Yes.
There's loopholes, and they know it.
I just had it. I had enough. Found a place that was cheaper. Everything seemed okay because I got my first payment. Relatively know that it was wrong. One, I was missing weeks, and two, when they finally accepted my back pay, whoever filed for my back pay never sent it to the payment center where I could get money. By the time I called them, the new system went into effect, and I says, "Oh, you're gonna have to wait until all of this is fixed." One payment I got of $900.
That's a month's survival.
5 months of waiting, and here I am, possibly losing another place. Probably losing another place, and it's just unacceptable. I've done my due diligence. I tried help, and I did my best. I don't want to lose another apartment, not another one. I don't want to lose another one.
You're right about that, sweetie. Sorry, I'm listening. She just made it funny. Said we're the quietest protesters I've ever seen.
I gotta sit down and start.
By all means, by all means. Thank you for your time. I'm sorry for your situation, but I appreciate you telling your story.
The one person from the office that did tell me that, you don't know anything more than you know. Yeah, I don't buy that story.
Oh my.
I suspect. Yeah, right. I believe that could be a possibility.
He is slowly avoiding everything.
I suspect that Governor Polis's office probably is privy to more information than I personally am.
Yep.
So let's make some noise. Let's let them know we're here. Let's let them know nobody is waiting another 3 weeks for their payment. People are sleeping in their cars. People can't feed their kids. Let's make some noise. Let's let them know we're here.
Money, we want it now.
Yeah.
You paid into it. We need it.
What excuses, guys?
Where is Polis? 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 Where is Polis?
I don't see him.
Where is
I don't
Polis?
see if you see
Where
him.
is Polis?
I don't hear him.
Where is Polis?
You hear him?
Where is Polis?
The governor.
Where is Polis?
The people's
Where
governor.
is Polis?
Where is he?
Where is Polis?
Where is Polis?
Where is Polis?
Open all the faces. Open every face.
Open every face! Open every face! Open every face! Open every face! Open every face!
Open every face.
It's our money and we need it now!
I like that. Right. Yes, absolutely. In 3 weeks, how many more people will have lost their home? How many more people will have had to send their children to live with someone else?
No more.
It's crazy. This is ridiculous.
I don't want to live in my car again.
3 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago tomorrow,
I'm just
I
shaking.
contacted Governor Polis myself, and I said, in my email, I said, at the very least, bare minimum, let's organize some sort of a food drive. Your constituents need to eat. You want to know what his response was? Crickets. I've yet to hear from him. Polis is silent. No, nobody's.
The
No,
important thing to him right now is what picture's on that driver's license.
Yep.
Or whether to live in a mushroom house. Is that important for you?
No.
It's not important to most of Colorado either. I notice our prisons are funded. What about us?
Exactly.
Right.
Yes.
We're
Yes.
law-abiding citizens asking for money we paid into.
It's money that you're entitled to. The federal government gave Colorado these funds. There's no reason that the state of Colorado is holding them and likely collecting interest on them.
Yep.
Well, guess what? We're all collecting
Yeah.
late charges.
So 2 months of interest on all that money. Well,
We're all just racking up late charges.
and everybody
So
I've
Colorado
talked to,
holds it.
everyone I've talked to here has went down a different rabbit hole. There's no consistency.
No, none.
There's
That,
no consistency.
like
at
I
all.
said earlier to you, Colorado, the Colorado Department of Labor and Employment said in one of their many interviews, I don't even know, that they have had a backup system in place in case the new UI Plus failed.
They do?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember hearing that.
Yep, January 10th. Yep.
Well, here's the problem.
Well, then what-
40 years the old system was fine until the pandemic, and now you're
And now
going to
this
shut
is
it
when we
down?
choose to do this.
Every,
Yes.
every other state is using the same system and theirs is working.
There are a minimum of 12 other states using the same system, designed by the same company in Colorado Springs.
I mean, the original system.
No,
No,
the
the
new
new
one.
one.
Yes.
I'm sorry, fine, you're fucking here to work.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. That's the sum of things right there. Yep.
How many people have been given false promises? How many people
Oh,
have
man.
told bill collectors going on their information just to move out your day to get? How many people here have called and spoke to someone from another state?
Another
Who has
state.
no
We're
clue what
hiring
we're
out to
going
other
through?
states. Yes.
Because the CDLE outsources to Illinois and other states instead of giving Kansas, Colorado Florida. people I've jobs. talked to people from both of those states.
I had to
They
talk to
never
somebody
even
in
visited
Africa.
them.
Yeah.
In
Yeah. So
Africa. Instead
where
of giving Colorado people jobs.
right? Ironically, there was a post on Twitter from the Colorado Department of Labor at 11:37 this morning,
Let's hear it.
finding a job during COVID-19 while we outsource our call center to other states.
500 jobs they outsource.
Yeah, it's crazy. Crazy.
We should not
Here
be-
comes a state employee.
Maybe he
Making more
knows
than
what Polis
minimum
is.
wage.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you.
It's insane.
Where's Poland?
You know, we have young families who are, you know, they're hearing, okay, well, end of January, beginning of February is when we'll have funds. So these young families are telling, let's say their utility company, I'll pay you February 5th. Then February comes along and they find out I'm phase 2. So now they've broken their agreement. Their utilities are going to be shut off.
Our cupboards are empty.
Yeah, there's nothing left.
Cars are repossessed.
Cars are repossessed. People have lost their homes. You know, this isn't something that we're anticipating happening.
I read
This is
online where
happening.
people got their bill shut off and then they get evicted because they can't leave their house without electricity,
Yep.
gas, like whatever the city calls it. They live on.
Yep, because they've now violated their lease.
I bet this place has its lights on tonight.
I'll
You
bet you
wanna
it does.
You want to bet when nobody's in there, it still has lights on.
Yep.
About people who need lights to see their children and dress them. Can't even see them.
No, it's insane. It is absolutely insane. Sorry.
Brittany, we appreciate everything you're doing.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Sherry and I
Our
have definitely
collective
been,
voice together, I think is all we got. Keep making this happen.
Some people have expressed how they're afraid to talk.
yes.
They're afraid of repercussions. They're afraid that something will happen. You can't live in fear.
No, there's a real fear. People, I've had
I know,
many,
but
many
we
people
can't
say
live
that.
like that.
No,
They
it's crazy.
want everyone to be scared.
Are we just gonna lay down and chose to ignore us and stay at home for that?
It's crazy. I was just trying to find
And how long were you supposed to go without?
exactly.
At what point are we gonna have to have another city of tents right there from the people who are unemployed right now?
That the Denver police families will come move because it's not okay to be there.
So that number's 31,000 counted between July 1st, 2019 and June 30th, 2020 in the metro area. Just in case you didn't know, 31,000 unhoused individuals.
Wow.
And rising.
How many is that?
And rising.
31,000 were counted in a 12-month span.
That are homeless.
Yeah.
Because of this.
Yeah, well, because of all of it, right? The metro area, 31,000.
And how many units are empty in all these luxury apartments? How many more luxury apartments are they building along the river?
Empty homes and apartments in this town right now. Thousands. We need answers.
Absolutely. Absolutely need answers. And we need
Plenty of
action.
housing. Plenty of
We need
housing.
action.
They just won't come up with a program to get us into a home.
To continue to put us off with these press briefings is unacceptable. To continue to say, well, we're having glitches is unacceptable. If they need to go back to their old system, they need to go back to their old system. If they need to implement their new backup system, that's what they need to do. But they cannot continue to leave people with nothing.
Well, I don't see why they couldn't use a backup system to get us all whole and then backfill and, you know, I work in IT for, you know, I know how it works and you can do workarounds and go back. And
Absolutely.
They were
Absolutely.
promised to be whole.
Yes, Joe Varela in his press briefing last Thursday said they will make
Us whole.
recipients whole.
yeah, well, but 6 months from now,
And
what
that's
does
what
it do?
Make them whole again.
Yeah, well,
They
so
will
are
be losing stuff every day. Right. How are they going
Car
to
insurance.
Credit, our credit.
yeah,
You can't ever
drop
make that
off the
whole.
radar and then get more money in the kitty that doesn't go out and, you know,
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
late fees.
Oh my gosh.
Overdraft fees. Like, that's not gonna affect anybody.
No, it's insane.
I had to use that. Excel energy. I tried to enter my bank account information and they said I put it in wrong. I don't know how, because I've done it a million times with everyone else. They charged me two return to bank fees and they wouldn't pick them up. $30. And I begged them, I said, I've been paying my bill on time. I'm seeing I'm up to $200. Please help me. No, you have to pay it. And they started calling and trying to shut me off for $30.
What?
$30.
Oh, oh yeah. Yeah. Our family. Yep. Right. Emergency doesn't mean
Right, right.
Right. That's the issue I have.
And we are people's mother, father, brother, sisters, aunts, uncles, cousins, daughters, sons, grandchildren, and they wouldn't want that for their families. Why is it okay for us?
They wouldn't
Why?
tolerate it for their families.
Why?
But they think
Homeless
it's okay
and
for
mom
us.
can be waiting for unemployment? Yeah, right. Never. I guarantee you none of those people's families are on unemployment. And if they filed for it,
They got it. Yep. Absolutely.
It's a noisemaker.
I can take
It's a protest.
every day I apply for the morning. Every
Yes.
day.
Yep. Absolutely.
I'm doing what they've asked of me. You can't do a job somewhere else. And whatever they ask of you, they don't pay you for 5, 6 weeks. Imagine. Imagine they took homelessness check away for 5 or 6 weeks.
Yeah, you know,
Right.
What if depression?
He gets paid from 1-800-Flowers. He's fine.
I think maybe he'd like to.
What do you want to bet? He gets a
Let us know
stimulus
what
paid.
he's going to
What
be
the public gets paid.
taken care of. It's a made whole again.
Does he get
Once
this
again,
stimulus in America?
719.
You're right, pandemic does mean versus that. So why is it?
That's a really good point. They're really funny. Congressmen and people paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to do it. To represent God.
Yeah, they should be paid minimum wage.
Get paid minimum wage. Make it so nobody.
If I've left one message.
Or you have to raise minimum wage.
Or no, because then that makes it that only the independently wealthy take that position.
I don't think it's a good idea. Independently wealthy, private business, we want to get that position, so they will do.
So what brings you out here today?
Hi, Governor
I want to get my
Bullock.
mortgage paid.
These are some of your unemployed.
I want to get my car payment paid. I want to get my bills paid. I want to be able to live. I don't want to. I mean,
Come outside.
sadly to say, I don't want to end up like those guys across the street.
Right.
I'm trying to be productive in society, and I'm trying to get go back to work. But I mean, just more immediately, I'd like to get some food on my table, right? You know, it's downright frightening, dude. Like down to the last couple of bucks. And, yeah, I just dumped down at the ineptitude of this thing. So that's what brings me down.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, how are you?
Good, man. How you doing? Good to see you as well. Thanks for covering this. So you've probably heard that most Americans pre-pandemic were like, 2 to 3 paychecks away from making decisions that would affect their housing and whether they can afford to keep housing. Had you ever experienced that pre-pandemic?
Being 2 to 3 paychecks away from.
Yeah, I mean, like since the pandemic, how has that statistic become real in your life?
It's become extremely real in my life. During up to the pandemic, I was never really too concerned. My business was doing really well and my industry was doing really well. But since the pandemic, this is crazy. Never been in this situation before, but it seems like it's under control. And then, your standard UI runs out. I'm like, whoa, wait, what do we do now? Then you hear from friends. There's no guideline. There's no checklist to how to do this. We just figured it out on our own, right? Or from conversations with guys like you.
No, I'm laughing at this.
I'm like, wait, I'm not quite sure how to do this. So then you transition over to PEUC or whatever it is.
Right.
Which I was on PEUC. But then you're at that next stage. Like, okay, I have faith-ish in the system. Like, things should maybe work out. And then when the shit hit the fan was when it was like, you've done all the work that you're supposed to do, and everything's just flat denied. Like, whoa. So nothing's coming in. And I'm down to my last $20 in my wallet. That's it. My bank account's overdrawn $870. I'm getting fees every day. There's no money to reserve. There's nothing. I'm down to my last $20. And it's like,
wow.
Oh shit.
I feel
That's
lucky.
That's when it's getting freaking real.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm like terrified. Is what it is. It's.
I find it interesting you say that there's no navigation in this. And it's really interesting because I was just watching some Saturday Night Live skit or something the other day, and it was like somebody graduating high school who was like, why didn't you teach me how to do taxes? That was, like a thought process.
Yeah.
It's not, we're not getting those skills in the system to be able to do the taxes as graduating from high school. So how would you expect that the unemployment system is lined out? I'll be honest, myself, I stopped trying to apply in like May because every time I went in, I get through the step by step and then it'd say I needed something else. It didn't have a comprehensive, here's all the things you're going to need. Here's how much of it we have on file to help you out. It's a real mess, right? No uniformity. My buddy here knows because I made this mess, right? That's what I did was you said your own business. So like I can understand like the entrepreneurial spirit and all those things. But at some point, everybody's out of money to spend to keep the thing circular, because I got no money to buy food from you so that you have money to pay your rent so that your landlord employs me to be his landscaper kind of, circular economy thoughts.
Right.
So it becomes this real problem that it's like educated people have a difficulty running through the system. I talked to a woman earlier. She speaks 2 languages. She speaks English and Spanish. She called the system on both of them. and is getting no success. Now I wonder about ADA compliance, Americans with Disabilities. If I've got a mental health or a physical handicap, or I can't use a computer,
It's built.
how does that work?
Well, I can speak to that. I've got two friends that are blind, and they're not in as bad a boat as we are, but they have. We just had dinner with them the other night. And they were telling us the system is built to push them down. It's like they're sadly because they're kind of a society looks at them as a substandard of society, and it's better if we just don't hear about this. So, but they told us it's almost an impossible task. If they did not have sighted friends, it would be very, very, very difficult. But I can't even imagine. Like, at least they can communicate and they can hear. But imagine if you were deaf. Like, what? Like, how? I don't know. That's
No, but you're right, and that's kind of where I'm at because the able-bodied person with standard fortitude, not unusual fortitude, standard fortitude, should be able to utilize the system with ease if it's built to follow federal guidelines. That the most difficult situation should have ease at it.
I saw her leaving, but she was with the Colorado Sun, one of the reporters out here earlier.
Yeah.
Just imagine if they had a daily update. We're having troubles with the system. We're seeing if we're gonna get through this hiccup today. Blah, blah, blah. I don't think we'd be out here. If we were getting daily updates, at least something. Yeah, we'd still have to. If it was even with daily updates and it's this bad, that's different. But if we were getting some kind of news, if you were able to get through beyond an automated system that says, I'm sorry, we don't have any appointment time. If we were able to make a phone call to at least a call center, or when I had my appointment and they were supposed to call me back, can I have a conversation? Or when they do call you back like they did this morning, which was not my scheduled day, and they don't hang up on you. Imagine if it was just a little bit different. They communicated it just a little bit different. We wouldn't be in this boat. But everything that they're doing is reactive and it's a mess. They're not being proactive about anything and they're not communicating the steps they're taking while they're doing it. Okay, so maybe it's just chaos behind the doors. Everybody's running around, they're tossing papers up. Tell us that's what you're doing. We don't know what we're doing. We're trying to figure this out. Okay, maybe there's going to be an empathetic response from the public. And we'll be like, okay, cool. You're trying to figure it out. But they're not. It's just radio silence. And that's, to me, that's unacceptable. So, and I think a lot of people.
Yeah. Thanks for your time.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Hope somebody's listening. Hope somebody's watching.
Well, usually when there's protesters on the Capitol grounds, they sit behind the pillars and listen to everything. I'm finding it interesting that they're not there right now. But I do. Do you hear the hawk above us?
I heard that. Isn't it? It seems like it's a Sunday. Is it Sunday? Honestly, I have no idea.
No, today's Monday. It's Monday.
As quiet as it is, I know it's a pandemic, but it seems just like it's not a business day.
Yeah, it does feel that way today, doesn't it?
Why do you need someone up there when you've got two there, one behind them, and then two on the other side on that end?
Oh, you mean the city of Denver police officers just hanging out in the left-hand lane of 14th Street?
Same two that were over at.
Yeah. None of you have thermonuclear detonators, do you?
They only recently just came over.
No, they've been with us all day.
Oh.
I can't zoom in. Uh-huh. Hi, Abby. Sniffing the wind. What do you got? What's 2 miles away blowing in? Well, folks, this is This is the gathering here outside the Colorado State Capitol.
People are taking care of their family members, not just their children, but their mothers, their fathers, uncles. Yeah, no, it's wonderful.
Can I get you to hold that for a second?
Yeah. And nothing. There's no answer. There's no direction. That's why we're here today. We're here to ask for help. We're here to yell for help. They can't see us. They can see us now. We're here in front of their building. This is what community looks like. This is what protest looks like. Then Howe's number grows and grows and grows. We have no answers.
Oh, absolutely. I wish I had more time to actually like promote it properly. I do too.
Think about this. This week we have the polar winds coming. Deer heat was shut off.
So,
If you had to choose the paper, heat, or food, when it's 5 degrees outside.
Okay, I'm gonna go say hi to my friends.
Awesome. You want me to come?
If you want to.
Yeah.
Because it's always fun.
Yeah.
And actually I want to see who's down here too. So as you can see, folks, there's a banner hanging out here. Not exactly sure what it says, so we're here to find out. Good morning. I'm going to come around this way. My name is Brian. This is Crash. We're journalists and live streamers. I'm curious. I love your sign. It's beautiful. What's going on out here today?
And so we started with the murder of George Floyd.
Okay.
We have another sign that says something about the division in the country. And so we're strong equality and society.
That's a fantastic message. Societal change, coming together. I saw the boss on TV last night, Bruce Springsteen, and the Jeep companies paid for a message to go to the middle and come to the middle. That was good. And so you're out here every Monday and Thursday at noon? Roughly noon for like an hour or so? Okay.
So cool.
We're going to try to come back and remember that for the future. On Thursdays. That's great.
Have been long-term people who have been in practicing nonviolence.
For decades, I'm assuming?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It started with Lucky Friend.
Ah. Then I shall say I love you.
Anyway, after the violence, like matter,
Yeah, the police really got on people and beat them up, didn't they?
well, there was some violence. We know that.
Yes. I actually.
Try to integrate. It's not enough to be anti-racist, but also nonviolent.
That's a great message. You DPDers listening right now, you should pay attention to that message. The Denver Police Department watch my streams on a regular basis. your tax dollars go at work watching me educate them. So I think it's a good use of my taxpayer dollars in that manner. It does help with the views. We're actually going to go ask them how they're doing today and see what's going on. Some people wanted their paychecks, so more people get paychecks to watch the people asking for their paychecks today. And so it's kind of a catch-22. So yeah, we're out. But I saw you down here, and we kind of went up to make sure that there was no conflict because we didn't know who it was down here, and safer that way. Sometimes when you come down here and you find 2 or 3 protesters, they're angrier. We'll just put it that way, and their anger will not be subsided for a while. So kind of just give it a pause. But we saw you were here. I can see it said anti-racist, so I want to come down and say hi.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Is there a website people can go to? Nope. Just practice it. Just practice being anti-racist and nonviolent.
Even more beautiful.
That's more beautiful. For decades. Practice it for decades till you become an expert. Thank you. Yeah, it does. Well, guess we can go say hi. And there's lunch down here probably too. If we were to take a walk and a tour.
So didn't the city put this fence up to protect the grass?
Yes.
Oh. What are these people doing here?
It's a regular historical issue. Oh, he's pulling out some paperwork.
Come on, give us a beautiful smile.
Hi. Can I have a card? Thatch. Look at that. Thank you. Oh, he's not even going to talk though. Oh, we'll just keep practicing. Oh, look at that. Nice badge number. Way to go. They got nice badge numbers on. How's it going? Hey, cards. I'm just taking, I'm gathering.
Who am I, Brian?
I ask each and every time.
Yeah, who am I, though?
Why don't you tell us?
I'll tell you. No, who am I?
Why don't you tell us?
I want all your listeners to figure out that you know who I am.
Why don't you tell us?
No, I'm not gonna tell you.
So you're going to violate policy and refuse to identify?
No, I'm not violating policy. Nobody.
I like the badge numbers on the jackets there. The flag jackets looks real good. But I'm still.
Do you know why the business card thing was brought into
Tell
play?
me. I don't know.
You should look it up. should look it up. It might enlighten you on that. So that if you don't know who the officer is, you can identify who they are.
Yeah. I would imagine that that's DPD policy
Yeah, but
as well as state law
I'm talking about the state law,
to be able to identify, right?
and you know who I am.
Well, I do now, Adrian Mendez,
So you're abusing
13062.
abusing the law, wasting business cards.
Well,
you get one from me every time you speak.
I didn't know who you were. You could have
know
just
who I am.
identified on the, there's so many of you people, and unless you do something extraordinarily
Brian,
magnificent,
you know who I am.
it doesn't stick with me, right? Because it's not important enough.
Maybe you should see your physician about that.
I should see my physician about that. Have you talked to your physician about sitting next to somebody within 3 feet without wearing a mask?
Well, you just pulled yours down while you were talking to me.
No,
so
I
it's kind
didn't.
of the same thing.
My mask has been on
No,
since.
No, it hasn't.
Should we go back and watch the
I
video?
just saw your face. Your video's facing me.
Okay, you can hear through the video when my mask is not on. There's a very clear difference in the muffling. So what are you guys doing out here today?
We're hanging out.
Hanging out?
Fucking up for us?
You doing anything about the meth dealing across the street by chance?
Our narcotics unit takes care of
Is it? Fantastic. I'm glad to hear that. I'm also curious. Do you know where somebody gets a hotel voucher if they're like got kids about to end up on the street or anything like that?
Yeah, if it's a single mother with kids, you have to go to the sheriff's office.
And what if it's a family, a mother, a father, and kids?
I honestly, I don't know if they have anything if it's a mother and father.
So if you're a single mother with kids, but if you're a mother and father with kids, not an option.
I think that's the way it is right now. Yeah.
At the sheriff's department.
Mhm.
Okay, I appreciate that. That's actually one of the things I wanted to come over and communicate. I was asking about because I had somebody go to the sheriff's office this weekend, and they were denied They were told that the program is non-existent at the sheriff's office, is not available. That's not where the thing is at.
Well, I've taken people there before, and they've given single mothers and children vouchers.
Okay,
And I've actually driven them to the shelter as well.
appreciate that. Very good. All right. So one last question. I don't see a name tag on the vest. Is it there somewhere?
No.
Okay, just curious.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So my badge number identifies who I am.
Okay. And how about you? I didn't get your number there. Oh, now I gotta zoom in. I can't see it. Is that what you tell the judge? Is that what you tell the judge? There you go. You can see it.
The judge never asks.
Oh, okay.
Just you do.
Just we do. I guess we gotta figure out how to get the judge to ask. Oh, I'm sorry. Would you like me to yell at you louder? You're used to being yelled at, aren't you?
By you, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not always the yeller. I just have great trainers.
You've actually been pretty good lately at all the protests.
Yeah.
You've been very cordial.
Cordial. It's a good answer. Well, as a manager of my resources, I want to make sure that my employees are definitely, feeling encouraged to behave accordingly, appropriately. So when you're nice to them, maybe they'll be nicer to, the people that they're out there working with.
I'm nice to everybody.
I would bet that I could find somebody that disagrees with you.
I get if you're nice to me, I'm nice to you.
Okay. I am curious though, and
That's the way I always am.
this is a very serious question. Have both of you had both your inoculations for the COVID?
I have not.
How about you, sir?
I'm not gonna answer that one.
You're not going to answer that one.
HIPAA violation.
So it's a HIPAA violation, but then aren't you supposed to be while on duty wearing your mask since you're so close to each other in the car?
I'm in contact with the public. Yeah, 4 6 feet across the street.
So,
When you're in contact with the public, you're supposed to.
but not with each other.
No, if you actually look at the governor's order, it actually excludes law enforcement, paramedics, firemen.
Okay.
People that work without risk.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Well, I've already had COVID, so I don't really.
Sure, you can get it again though.
Well, yeah, and I'll do just fine when I get it.
But the homeless person that you picked up for being a
The
little
homeless person is
intoxicated.
the one who gives it to me, because we
Sure.
get tested all the time once we contact someone.
Sure.
So you're working backwards.
You think so?
Yes, very much so.
So then how is it that the inmates at jails are the most contaminated with COVID?
They're not.
Yeah, statistically, and yes, that is actually what has been proven is that the inmates in jails have a higher. It's like 25-1.
Published it.
Yeah, it's let me pull out my Google and find it. because I know that that's a fact.
So how many people in the homeless population have been diagnosed?
You know, I don't carry all the statistics. I do say that, well, you know, we all got some research to do and we all got to be educated. But the idea that, you know, you're just sitting in the car on the grass, off the sidewalk.
Look, we didn't want to impede the sidewalks.
I'm just,
Because if somebody's coming down the sidewalk in a wheelchair, I'd rather be over here than
I absolutely agree with that.
right. So that's the logic behind it.
What's the logic behind these fences right here? Though?
You
Inmate
have to ask the state for that. That's the state park.
COVID.
What? But over here, there got to be fucked up and brown and muddy.
Yeah, but over there, they'll be great.
Great use of space, public space, taxpayer space. Oh man.
So who do you want to hear it from? Time Magazine,
Time's not
the
a reputable
government,
source.
the Marshall Project, Stat News, JMA Network, COCHS Maps and Statistics, the Equal Justice Initiative. Who do you want to hear it from?
Are those reputable sources?
Well, according to Google, they are.
Well,
They're on the
is
top
Google,
of the list.
Is Google a reputable source?
I would suggest that it's supposed to be. Yeah.
It's supposed to be. So I could also probably find other articles that would dispute those articles.
Actually, all I did was said inmate COVID statistic.
And you could probably find other articles. So if you look at the CDC website, it also says that 400,000 people died from COVID this year, right?
Yeah, 440.
Or last year, yeah.
Yeah, right.
What percentage of those are actually just COVID deaths? No other underlying condition.
Well, I think the part of the concepts of the pandemic is that the pandemic, the disease itself,
Brian, you have to look at the whole
impacts other health conditions.
You have to look at the whole thing.
Uh-huh.
So it's 6% of that number.
Okay.
So it's about 30,000 people. How many people does the regular flu kill every year?
Hey, Mr. Officer 13062, you gotta look at the whole fucking picture.
How many
With
how many-
pre-existing
how-
conditions,
how
people that
many-
are overweight,
how
that have
many people does the
asthma, that have
regular
fucking
flu kill every
diabetes, that might have pneumonia. You have to think about. You have to take the whole picture. That was what you said.
Don't be so angry.
I'm not angry.
Yes,
I can
you
show
are.
you angry. I'm
And
not
you're getting
angry
Closer.
because I can't hear you.
You're getting closer.
You can't hear me. I don't want to yell.
Maybe you should put your mask on. That'd be a lot safer.
No, actually, the mask that he has on isn't any good because every time he breathes out, the exhaust comes out. So anything that he might have is actually spreading on everybody else. Those masks aren't allowed in the hospital for that. So his mask is no better than me wearing nothing.
This better, princess?
All right, we're gonna go since you're being rude. Have a good day.
Uh,
Watch your tripod.
I'm watching it.
No, have a good day, sir.
You're obstructing my view. I can't pull out because you're in the way.
You're able to do it, thankfully, so I guess it wasn't a problem.
he said he can't pull out. That was funny.
I'm sorry, Mom. I know you heard that.
Oh.
That was nice.
that was me being nice.
Well, that was him being nice too, apparently.
Apparently.
Somebody go see a fucking doctor.
So what we also recognize though is that the Denver Police Department thinks that they have no moral responsibilities, right? We're excluded. We're above the law. That's essentially the argument that they made. There's a federal fucking mask mandate, and these guys are like, nope, we're above the law. Maybe you saw the Saturday Night Live Super Bowl pod special. That is exactly what those police officers just represented. See this guy? He's got his mask on. He's got a little bit more moral authority than the one that I just interacted with. They both do. See, there's two human beings wearing masks. They have more respect for each other than those two cops sitting in the same damn car on the sidewalk.
Head back.
Meter.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. So, folks, I'm glad you're here. I'm going to connect with a couple people, but we're going to call it a day. Keep on moving on our way, huh? Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you soon. Don't forget, True, TRUTUBE.LIVE. Also on YouTube, Crash Landon. Right there, ladies and gentlemen. And
Don't forget Seeking Justice. That's the new
oh yeah, and don't forget my channel, new channel, Seeking Justice. Also, keep your eye on my channel today. I might go live with a special guest later.
Hey.
Oh.